Welcome back into Rise Radio. This is not your average episode here on Rise Radio. This episode is actually part of a 5-part challenge that went down last week inside the portal, which is my free community over on Telegram. So the feedback that I received from this live event was mind-blowing, so good. And so I decided to share it with you here on the podcast. Saying that, like I said, it is a 5-part challenge. Each lesson builds upon the last. So make sure that you are listening to them in order. There's a couple bonus episodes or lessons in the mix as well. So I hope you enjoy this. I would love to hear how it lands for you. You can leave comments here. You can message me over on Instagram at the Jocelyn Dawn. And of course, come and join us inside the portal over on Telegram for free. And so you can get in on more free events like this and join into my insane community of visionary women building incredible lives. Okay, the link is in the show notes. I'm so excited you're here. Now let's get into this fun challenge called The Shift. See you on the other side. Welcome back into The Shift. Welcome into day 2, Spirit. Before we jump in to our true potential and understanding that we are so much more than just this human experience, let's do a little reflection, shall we? How was your awareness? How was yesterday's challenge? How was yesterday's conversation with yourself, with your highest self? Discovering who she is, how she moves, how she thinks. And what did you find? What were your realizations? I seriously want you, if you are here listening to this, take part. Pour into this group chat. Get vulnerable. Get uncomfortable. Okay, share. No one in here is going to judge you. They're only going to call you to go bigger. Okay, we're here, especially I am here, to shine a light on opportunities for you to grow and to shift and to expand and to become the best of yourself. Okay, and we want to be vocal in this space. So get involved. I want to hear, what is your awareness now? What are you now aware of? Oh my God, I didn't realize that I had been XYZ for so long and now I'm aware of it. Now it's up to me to change it. I'm constantly studying myself, like I said yesterday, constantly studying the way I do things, the thoughts I think, the way I respond or react sometimes, right? We're all human. I'm going to talk about that today. And I'm constantly building awareness. So get in the group chat here. Get vulnerable, get on audio even, okay? And it doesn't matter if you don't know how to do it, you figure it out. She'd know how to do it, right? Okay, share your takeaways from yesterday. Share what happened. Share what happened when you observed yourself. Share what you have now become aware of and what you are committed to shifting and even releasing in a lot of ways, and even now adopting as new habits, as new moves, as new thoughts, as new pieces of the woman that you've been becoming for so long, because this is how we close the gap. This is how we shift everything, and it starts from the inside, right? This is how we shift our identity. All right, so let's get into the conversation today, you guys. This is totally intuitive, by the way. I am to the point of being obsessed with doing audio trainings and lessons like this for you guys. That is why I have the portal here, which you're all listening to me inside the portal right now. I have the portal because I receive so much information that I believe I channel it, and it flows through me. So that's what I'm doing right here with these lessons. That's why I made the shift, no pun intended, from doing these live lessons on video into this audio form, because we're all moving through life. Life is lifing around us. We have children, multiple children. We have other situations going on around us. And I just love the free flow of audio. I love the freedom it gives both you and I to be able to jump in here and just like channel this information to you in its raw and realist form in one fucking take. Like there's no editing going on here. There's no scripting. There's no copywriting. There is literally channeled energy here. And for me, I always like that is the most potent and most pure form of, what do we want to say? Like embodiment and also like information, right? When it's pure channeled, inspired, in spirit energy. Okay, and then for you as the receiver, you can take me with you on your walk. You're walking your dog, pop in your earbuds and take me with you. You know, washing the dishes, driving your car. I love listening to expansive lessons, information, downloads, whatever, transmissions, whatever you want to call it. I love listening to expansive conversations when I am doing things like driving or dishes or laundry, right? Those are things that don't require much. Therefore, I'm always listening while I'm out and about. Okay. So, let's get into the conversation, shall we? Spirit, our true potential. I want you to sit with this for a second, because there has been times in my life, and there still is days, definitely. There still is days, and there always will be, where my human gets loud. Okay, what do I mean by that? We are not this human experience. And most of you in this group, if not all, understand that, right? You understand that intellectually. But do you actually embody that? Is it actually something that you understand on a body level? Okay, we're going to talk more about body and embodiment in a couple days on day 4. Okay, do you understand that, but do you actually embody that? Here's one way you can tell that you don't, is that you still tell yourself you need to figure it out. You're still taking action in a way that is very mechanical. You are working really hard. You're struggling, you're forcing. Okay, that is you operating and existing as a human being. Okay, don't get me wrong, we're all humans here. We are. We're having a beautiful human experience. I'm not dismissing the fact that we are human. It is very important for us to have our feet on the ground, all right? And to be fully present in this human experience, enjoying, right, the pleasure of being a human being in all its fucking forms. As human beings, we have the ability to fly, to swim, to dance, to sing, like to drive a vehicle. Okay, you don't see a cow standing in the field thinking about the next time it's going to fly to Hawaii. No. Okay, we have these higher faculties that animals do not have. As far as we know, we are the only living beings on this planet that have these higher faculties. What do I mean by that? The ability to dream, the ability to imagine, the ability to perceive, the ability to think, right? Ponder, reflect. All of these abilities are human abilities. And it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. The human experience is absolutely divine, but we are not just this human experience. Okay. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. What do I mean by this? I don't mean anything religious. Okay. Religious, organized religion is not what I'm talking about here. Spirituality is being connected into something that is bigger than this human experience, that does not need to be organized religion. Okay, so a spiritual being having a human experience. We are so much more than just this human experience. When we allow, right, we let go of control. This is usually when, have you ever had this happen where you're like, fucking hell, where the hell are the car keys? I give up. The dog probably ate them. They're fucking gone. Whatever. You let it go. And then all of a sudden you look over and you're like, what the fuck? They're sitting right there on the table. Like, what in the world? Like, I can't explain what happened there. I cannot. But all I know is that's a really good example that has happened to me often. Not so much with the car keys, but there was something I was looking for the other day and it was literally right there. But as soon as I let it go and like seriously let go of control, it happened. It happens all the time. We can relate this to business. Okay, we're forcing, we're struggling, we're telling ourselves it's not working. No one's watching. No one's inside. No one cares. Okay, the moment that we first become aware of what we're doing, right? Awareness is the key to changing anything. We become aware, and then we realize, the conversation today, we are so much more than just this human experience. We're not alone in this endeavor, in this life, and we actually let go. Things start happening, right? We start telling ourselves a new story. That's tomorrow. We're going to start reprogramming the mind for success, for bliss, for love, for fucking overflow, okay? Because if we're telling ourselves and forcing, like that human experience, it's not working, what signals are we sending out to the quantum field, the universe, whatever you want to call it? What signals are we sending out? Signals of lack, limitation, struggle, not enough. Okay, struggle is a man-made thing. Lack is not real. Lack is man-made. What do I mean? I said this the other day on my Instagram stories. I can't remember exactly how I said it though. It was so fucking good. Sometimes I'm like, man, I blow my own mind. But it comes through me, right? It's not me. It comes through me. So anyway, it's like there is no lack. There is no lack of money. There is only lack of creativity and bravery. Ooh, that's good. Fuck, that's so good. There is no lack of money, abundance, love, whatever you want to fill that blank in with. There's only lack of creativity and bravery. How did I get to where I am today? Not by figuring out how. Not by finding some really fucking crazy strategy. Not by following someone else's rules. I got to where I am today through being creative and fucking brave. And frankly, most people on this planet are neither. All right, so struggle, lack, man-made. Both man-made experiences. There is no lack. People say, oh, there's a shortage of water. There's no fucking shortage of water. Okay? That is not true. There is not a supply and demand issue. There is a consciousness issue. There are people on this planet today that don't have clean drinking water. Why not? Why not? Usually it's corrupt government, right? It's control. Or it's lack of awareness. Those people don't know how to get clean drinking water. Okay, this is a whole deeper conversation, but I hope you're understanding what I'm trying to say here. There is no lack, there is no struggle. Okay, lack and limitation is a man-made concept. Babies are not born believing in lack. They also don't have fears like we do as adults. I'm just trying to remember last night I was talking to my kids. Oh yeah, we were reading this book, this like owl book they love to read. It's called Ava's Diary or something like that. And it was like a ghost hunt edition. And Ava calls up her friend and she's like, hey, I can't remember her name right now. Hey, you want to go for a ghost hunt with me? And the friend's like, well, it sounds kind of scary, but sure. you know? And I giggled and I said to my kids, I was like, hey, so do you have a friend that you could call up and like say, hey, do you want to go on a ghost hunt? And your friend would reply back, yeah, sure. And they were all like, yeah, I think so. I think I have lots of friends who would do that. And then I said, imagine I called up my friend and was like, hey, Lisa, you want to go on a ghost hunt with me tonight? What would she say? She'd be like, what the fuck are you on about? You know, like, no, or like, maybe because I trust you. I don't know. Like, it sounds kind of weird, but also sounds kind of fun. Like, the bottom line, the reason I shared that funny story is because most adults are so wrapped up in fear and worry that they're too afraid to do anything about it, right? They're too like, what am I trying to say here? It's like struggle, lack, limitation do not exist. This is what I'm trying to say. Babies are not born believing in lack. Okay, they can be born into lack and limitation. For example, a baby is born into a family that is quote unquote living in poverty. Okay, living in poverty. I live in Costa Rica, you guys. And if you've never been to Costa Rica, you probably should come sometime. And maybe you want to consider coming to the retreat in April. It's going to be a mind-blowing experience. But there are some homes very close to mine, excuse me, that have mud flooring, mud floor, tin walls, tin roof, sticks holding it up. Okay. That can be perceived as someone who is struggling. Remember what I said about lack. There is no lack. There is only lack of creativity and bravery. It is all awareness. It is all awareness. And so some of what I'm saying can be triggering you. I want you to ask yourself why. Why is this triggering me in this way? There are so many organizations out there today that are trying to help these people. You guys, I have a right to say this, okay? Because I used to live in government housing. I was in the depths of that. In the depths of that struggle, lack, limitation zone, all right? No daddy lane is what they used to call my complex. So I saw what happens when we are given what we need to survive. What happens? Fucking nothing. Nothing happens. Money is disposable when you exist in that way. There's never enough. It is always a struggle. There's always lack. And what happens to the people living in that state, being given what they need to survive? A house, money to feed their kids, just enough, right? What happens to those people? They stay there. Okay, when I gave my notice in the office on No Daddy Lane, no one fucking leaves that place. No one. I just went back 3 years after I moved out. We went back there because what was happening? Someone was selling like some sort of like clothes or something for my son. We were in Canada visiting, and as you know, like we live in Costa Rica and I don't even own fucking socks, never mind pants. So we had to buy a few supplies as the weather started to turn a little colder. And I went there in our car to go buy this clothes for my son. And I'm not even joking, the same people live there. It like hurts my heart. Why do they live there? There's no lack. There's only lack of creativity and bravery. This gives me like shivers. Okay. I used to say that I want to be so fucking wealthy so I can give it all away. And although there is still a big part of me that is like probably one of the most generous people you'll ever meet. Like I honestly am. There's part of me now that realizes more than ever before that doing so is a disservice. Okay, instead, what do I want to do with my millions and billions? I want to give scholarships, education, not your traditional fucking go to college and get a degree in, I want to even use this as an example, engineering, let's say. Okay, no offense to anyone who like has a formal quote unquote career. That's not the type of education I mean. Okay, I want to create, these are just some random ideas I have, right? I want to create companies that serve humans in many ways, multiple companies, right? I want to offer scholarships. I want to offer education to help people, specifically single moms, to grow their awareness, their consciousness, to upgrade their identities. This is what I stand for. See the difference, right? Don't get me wrong here though, because when I think back to when I was in the first facility I lived in, it was a high security building for single women. If somebody would have given me a chunk of money, like even $5,000 back then, if I had the awareness back then, which I'm not sure if I did, to be honest, that would have changed my life. But if I didn't have the awareness, let's use the example that people always talk about, the lottery, people winning the lottery, right? If I didn't have the awareness, if someone gave me $5,000, the chance of me just blowing that $5,000 on material stuff that, yeah, maybe we did need is very high. Did I or would I have upgraded in any other way? Probably not, because the awareness wasn't there. Okay, similarly to what we always hear, right? People winning the lottery and then they blow it all and nothing changed. Okay, they're living this like material lifestyle and like buying these things that they've always wanted, but nothing else is changing. Okay, they're not, maybe some are, right? Don't get me wrong. I'm not speaking for everybody who's ever won the lottery by any means. But I know from my own truth, back then, I did not have the awareness to invest my money. I did not know how to grow my money. Do you know how to grow your money? This is not taught in school. Why the fuck is it not taught in school? This is why I unschool my kids. I get to teach them how to grow their money, right? Okay, are we picking up what I'm putting down? Money is a spiritual idea. It came through someone, similarly to the fan that's sitting beside me, the water bottle that's sitting beside me, the phone I have in my hand. It's a spiritual idea. It came through someone. It wasn't someone sitting there trying to figure something out. It was, fuck, I'm so done with just using my hand to get water from the river. If I had something else, there's half a coconut. Sweet, there we go. Grab that, dip it in the water. This is so much better. And then over the years, the centuries, the water bottle evolved. And now it's insulated and it has a metal straw. We're saving the environment here. Do you know what I'm saying? Is like everything starts as an idea in our imagination, but awareness is the first step. Awareness is the first step. Awareness that we are so much more than just this human experience. Awareness that lack is not real. Wow, lack is not real. Awareness that struggle is not a thing. Awareness that as soon as anything gets hard, that means that is a sign that we are no longer living in spirit. inspired. And it is a sign that we have let our human out. As I say, my human's out. A sign that we have let our human take back over. And when we do notice this, okay, let me just say this in a different way so you actually know 100% what I'm saying here, is that when our human is out, when we are operating solely from a human experience, there's force. This is masculine energy. This is linear energy and concepts. It is, how do I get from A to B? Okay, for example, let's go back in time. I was sitting there. Okay, I lived in Laterland, I call it, for years. I used to tell myself, one day I'm going to get to Costa Rica. Actually, I didn't even know it was Costa Rica. I was like, one day I'm going to leave this fucking cold death of Canada, winter in Canada. One day I'm going to take my kids out of this country for the winter, right? One day. And I would just tell myself that one day it was going to happen. One day my business would grow. One day something will change. One day the dad will show up. One day, right? So the shift happened when I stopped believing in the one day. When I stopped letting that one day be real. Okay? So the shift happened when I stopped trying to figure it out. So for example, I was living there and I was like, one day. And I was like, okay, if I would have been like, all right, September 31st, I am going to Costa Rica. And then I reverse engineered the whole thing month by month, week by week, day by day. And I said, okay, I need to take action now. And I'm going to take action and I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do this and this and this and this. It's all going to line up and then it's going to this. And that is a human, very masculine, linear and logical way of living and achieving. And frankly, that is what most of the people does. Most of the world exists there. Most people do that. You set a goal, you reverse engineer it, and you fucking get to work. It's a lot of work. It's stressful. It's the recipe for a burnout. It is exhausting. Right? Are we in agreement here? Yes. Yes. There is another way. There's another way. This is how I live, okay? So instead, what I did is I stopped one daying because I made a decision. Tomorrow we're going to talk about decision making. I made a decision. And instead of asking myself, okay, how is this going to work out? And trying to figure it out and human my way there, I actually begun to change and upgrade my identity. Okay, I often get asked, how'd you do that? Like, what do you mean? How do you do that? I made a decision. Yes or yes, before the first fucking snowflake of the following winter, I am out of here. I don't know how. I don't care how. It is happening. Okay, and with the same certainty as one has when they have booked a flight and they're about to get on the flight, I packed my fucking life up. And I moved accordingly as if it was already happening. We're going to talk about this in depth tomorrow. All right, you see the difference? I didn't try to figure it out. I let go of the how. And I became that version of me. It's not hard. It actually is really fucking simple and can happen in a matter of seconds. Like this. You can decide. And if you believe that you can change beliefs and change who you believe you are, like this, you can do it. I do it all the time. Okay, so there doesn't need to be this struggle, this stress, this burnout, this hardworking, this 5-year plan. Oh my God, 5-year plan. Fuck, who wants to wait that long? Let's do it now. Right? By the time I made that decision to the time my kids and I, who were 2 and 4 at the time, got on that plane, that one-way flight to Costa Rica, it was less than 9 months. Okay, my business blew up. At that time, I was selling a product for a company. It doesn't matter what you're doing for work. It doesn't matter. Well, of course, you need to be an entrepreneur. You need to have your own business, because otherwise someone else is still dictating your moves and your payments, right? Your worth. You need to have your own company. You need to be an entrepreneur. Remember, there is no lack. I truly believe that we are all entrepreneurs. We just forgot along the way. We just got manipulated into believing we can't, or it's not possible, or we're not good enough, or we don't know enough, or all the other bullshit stories, right? Entrepreneurship is who we are. We are all natural entrepreneurs. Look at your kids. Look at our kids. Look at children. They're so creative. And remember the 2 things. There is no lack. There is only lack of creativity and bravery. What are kids really good at? Really good at being brave, and they're really fucking creative. Unless they're manipulated into believing they're not. Which again is why I unschool my kids. All right? So, bringing it back around. Spirit. We are so much more than just this human experience. So now, your integration embodiment homework for today is to catch yourself when your human is out. And all I want you to do is notice it. You can even say to yourself, my human's out. Look at that. Hi there. My human's out. Anytime you notice you're struggling, forcing, figuring it out, you're lost in the how, you're telling yourself, I don't know. Of course you don't know. It's not fucking up to you. It's not up to you. Of course you don't know. Okay, anytime that happens, you're going to say, oh, hi. And every time, you're going to notice it so many times throughout your day, especially if you're newer to this material. Oh my gosh, you're going to notice it all the time. And all you're going to do is catch yourself and say, hey, my human's out. Redirect, release, control, let go. Tomorrow, we're talking about decision making. Decision making is a skill that most of this planet doesn't know how to do. That does not have. These people do not know how to make a decision, okay? But I'm going to teach you how to make a decision. And once you have the decision made, then you know when your human's out, you redirect to her, to that version of you, to that destination already being done. Okay, we'll talk about that more tomorrow. But what happens when you catch yourself, when you are noticing your humans out? I do not want you to feel any sort of way about it. Anything other than celebration, okay? Because you can fucking celebrate it. That's a great thing to do. Celebrate. When you notice your humans out, celebrate it. Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of myself. Oh, because guess what? This work compounds. This work compounds. I have a client who is in here. She shared a little bit about her concussion. She actually mentioned how the autopilot is strong and seems to want to take back over. Her and I were talking. She's also inside my Expand Tapping and Business membership. She's also upgraded to VIP. We were talking about how her mind is trying to trick her into believing that since she had another concussion the other day, it has wiped out all the work she's been doing. She's got to start back at ground zero, she's done all this work and it's not good enough, and it's insignificant. It doesn't matter that this concussion happened to her. That's her mind trying to tell her it happened to her, right? And she lost everything, like she shouldn't even try anymore. That is complete bullshit. And we talked about this, right? That's complete bullshit, because this awareness that we are building, this wisdom that we are acquiring, this material that you are consuming, compounds, and it compounds, and it compounds. Similarly, in your work, your business, right? It compounds. It's like putting in the reps. Every time you do something, every time you show up, every time you post on social media, every time you serve a client, every time you XYZ, you're putting in the rep. You're putting in the rep. I always talk about this. I love working out and moving my body. I love feeling strong. And there's more effective ways to put in the reps. Okay, putting in the reps and just doing the work, quote unquote, doing the work, is not just throwing fucking shit at the wall just for the sake of doing it, right? It's actually intentionally getting better and putting in the reps that actually matter in the right places. We're not just doing for the sake of doing and telling ourselves one day it's going to change, one day this is going to compound. No, it's not actually. It's a waste of time. We want to put in the effective reps, okay, through doing the right things in the right way, because it's not how we do them, it's who we do them as. Are you following? Because we are infinite, creative, spiritual beings. And what we're doing here over these 5 days is upgrading our identity to match the identity of the woman that we have been becoming for so long. So when we are putting in those reps, we do so more effectively. It's like going to the gym and saying, okay, I'm working out. And you're just doing reps with a 2-pound weight, right? Okay, maybe you start with 2 pounds the first 15 minutes and move it up to 5, man. What are you doing? Let's stop wasting time. Although time is not even real, it's a total illusion. We want to still be intentional with our reps. We want to still be intentional with our moves, with our actions, with our thoughts. Because action is still, we're going to talk about this on day 4, a big piece of this work. We must take action, but we've got to do this inner work first. Right here and now is what we're doing. We don't need to build a house here and stay there like a lot of people do. A lot of people will get stuck, quote unquote, stuck in this feminine energy of preparing the soil. No, we don't build a house here. This is just the beginning. We need to understand these concepts, first intellectually, and then we move them into the body, and that's what we're doing this week. We first must build this awareness and understand these concepts, and then we take action in a new way. Because it's not what we're doing, it's how we're doing it as who we believe we are when we're doing it. Right? 2 people can be doing the same thing. I'll give you an example. Okay, you go to a restaurant, and it's a pretty nice restaurant. You're sitting down, you're so excited to have a nice meal. Maybe you're sharing this meal with your partner, and the waitress comes over, and right away you can tell her energy is fucking off. She clearly hates her job. She believes her boss is the biggest asshole that walks this planet. She hates it so much. She pretty much throws the menu at you and says, what do you want? What do you want? Okay, how is that? How do you feel in that moment? You're like, well, never coming back here again. God, this place sucks, right? Like, who is this woman? Or maybe you're like, man, she's having a bad day. Okay. Same exact job, another waitress. She comes over and she believes that she is the best waitress in the whole place. She's beautiful. She's got her nails done, whatever. Her hair looks nice. She's dressed nice. She comes over and her bubbly energy is like, hey everyone, how are you doing? Welcome to blah blah blahs. I'm here to serve you and make this experience something you're going to remember for the rest of your life. Right? And she hands you the menu, but before she does so, she tells you the specials, and she's like, you know what? I would suggest this because of this and this and this. Okay, and then she gives you the menu. You see the difference? It's the same fucking job, but it's because one of them is so embodied and just like alive and like obsessed with her work. And the other is like, what the fuck do you want? I want to go home, right? They're probably getting paid the same, that's the unfortunate thing. That's why I'm like, entrepreneurship is the way, man, because trading your time for money is not a vibe, and also working for someone else also isn't. Okay, so it's not what we do, it's how we do it, as who we believe we are. We are spiritual beings. We are not humans, just humans. We are very much humans, but we're not just humans. There's so much more. The moment that we release the control, we're going to talk about this tomorrow when we talk about decision making. When we release the control and we stop fucking figuring it out, we stop it with the struggle. Remember yesterday we talked about awareness. Watch your words. Your words are your wand. And we lean into tomorrow, what would I love? And we understand that when our human is out, it's okay. We're just going to catch ourselves, celebrate, and we're just going to come back to knowing that everything is happening for you in the perfect timing. All right, so that's your homework. I'm going to write it out down below. Go and have the most incredible day. I'm so excited for tomorrow's conversation. We're going to move it into the mind, decision making, expanding our perceptions, new ideas, all of that good stuff. I can't wait. You guys, let me know how this landed for you. And of course, share. Get in this group chat. Share what's coming up for you. Share what you're moving through. Share your human moments and your realizations and the moments that you caught yourself, the moments that you celebrated. What are you doing? Okay, get vulnerable and be real. Get loud in this group. This is your community. The more you put in, the more you get out, the more this community becomes alive. All right. I can't wait to hear from you. I'm so excited that you're here and that we're here and that this shift is happening, because holy shit, we're changing the world.